Story 1. Quite well, thank you. I totally gave up caffeine a decade ago this November. After 3 months of miserable migraines, I found that I went to sleep easier. Also, I woke up with fewer issues. Story 2. Coffee is the drink that makes you sleepy when you are not drinking it. Creates a dependency and makes you feel sleepy when you have not had your coffee yet. Long story short, if you never drink it, it's much easier to wake up. Story 3. A shower is pretty solid if I can stay out of a half-sleep stupor. And if I went to bed early enough, I really like to start the day with a run. It just gets the happy endorphins flowing. Story 4. I'm 24, almost 25, and have never required coffee in order to get the day kick-started. I feel perfectly fine without it, but I don't know if I'm just not at that age yet where I require it. Story 5. A sunrise lamp and exercise. If you can get through the first couple of weeks, you'll feel better for it. I've been caffeine-free for a few years and will never go back. Story 6. Coffee actually makes me tired. Honestly, you need good sleep and a reason to get up. My dogs wake me up, so then I have to tend to them. As for sleep, I recommend using the sleepy time calculator. As someone with poor sleep habits, I've noticed that as long as I sleep full cycles, which the calculator figures out for you, I'll feel rested even if I didn't get that many hours in. But obviously, if you can get more cycles in, that would be ideal. Story 7. I have a routine. I wake up and immediately take care of a bunch of cats. I open the blinds for the indoor cats, feed the strays, and give them clean water. Then I brush my teeth and wash my face. The face washing helps a lot. Then I relax in bed with the indoor cats for about an hour before getting up, making the bed, cleaning up the kitchen, changing clothes, and getting to work. I work from home for myself. Story 8. Do some stretching, preferably that involves most muscles, and then take a quick shower. That increases your blood flow to the brain and also releases some glucose from glycogen. 80% of the time, it works every time. Story 9. I knew very early on in life that I didn't want to become a coffee-addicted adult like the rest of the world, so I never started it. Yeah, some mornings really suck, but you just have to get up and do it. Story 10. Getting my body moving, eating breakfast, and drinking a big glass of water is plenty to get my body awake. Humans don't need coffee. It's just a substance that we've convinced ourselves we need because it's addictive. Story 11. I haven't become dependent on coffee, so I have no need for it. Coconut water and some fruit in the morning wake me up just fine, maybe a shower if I have the time. But I'm also only 21, so I probably just have youthful energy that will drain the second I hit 25. Story 12. Coffee makes me tired, so I have never really drunk it unless I am craving the taste. Usually, I just read until I get restless, then I work out, and that gives me energy for the rest of the day. Story 13. I haven't felt what it's like to wake up without a cup of coffee in over a decade. I think I may drive off a bridge on my way to work if I ever tried going a morning without laughing out loud. Story 14. Everyone wakes up when they open their eyes. I think people who drink caffeine need something to trick them into doing things they don't want to, like going to work. I don't drink coffee anymore, but I've had the freedom to decide my daily routine however I want, so I don't need that trick anymore. On days when I'm drowsy or tired, I just try to go to sleep early that night so I'm not tired again the next day. Story 15. Drinking cold water gets the job done for me. I used to work in a graveyard shift, and drinking coffee was never part of my routine as I'm more of a tea guy. Story 16. Slowly and painfully. My back and my shoulders dictate what time I get up. I used to drink coffee, but then my heart would dictate what time I go to sleep, so I had to stop. I still do not go to bed early, but at least now my heart is not running a marathon every night. Story 17. By fixing my sleeping schedule, working out before anything else, and having a heavy breakfast that is low in carbohydrates, I wouldn't feel tired at any given moment during the day. Story 18. When I was working, taking a shower in the morning was what woke me up every day. I couldn't function without my shower. Now I get up to feed the cat colony I care for. That involves lots of walking, stairs, and lifting and carrying in the fresh morning air, no matter what the weather is like. And that definitely wakes me up. So I imagine just going on a walk or run in fresh air would probably be a good way for most people to wake their brains up. Story 19. I have an alarm that screams bloody murder until I solve math problems. Hard ones, usually hard enough that I need to pull out a calculator to solve them in under a minute. But occasionally it throws an easy one my way. I can mute it for about 10 seconds at a time. This started because I overslept a midterm exam in university once. I usually have some kind of caffeine around lunch, but a cup of coffee has a lot of caffeine compared to a can of Coca-Cola. So I don't get bad withdrawals if I do skip. And if I actually drink coffee, it gets me really wired. Story 20. I'm 36 and have never drunk coffee. I've tried it but didn't really like it. I wake up, take my tablets, have my breakfast, then maybe a green tea if I have time before work. Story 21. I just wake up. It feels no different than when I was addicted to caffeine, not including the several months of withdrawal and extreme tiredness after quitting. Story 22. I don't have caffeine anymore. It turns out that giving it up means I can wake up without feeling groggy and needing to consume it. It's a con. They are selling you a problem and the solution. Story 23. Moan and groan about either having to go to work or groan about the need to pee, then promptly get my butt out of bed and go. Now, if I don't work that day, if it's before 8 a.m., I go back in bed and either sleep or just lay there until 10 a.m. If working the morning, well, 5:40 comes quickly and I dislike myself for the next 9-ish hours. Story 24. I used to be a big coffee drinker but had to stop for my health. Without the dependency, it's easier to wake up naturally. I have a strong morning tea and food. When I had coffee, I wouldn't eat for a while. Now, food wakes me up more than anything else. It sucks because I love the flavor of coffee. Story 25. I'm quite disciplined when it comes to getting up, something I learned in the military. When the alarm rings, I sit up no matter what. After that, it is easy to get up. Cold water to wash my face helps too. Also, spite. Story 26. Even with coffee in your life, you can get the day started without it. I only drink my first cup at 9:30 during the first coffee break at work. By that time, I've been awake for at least 3 hours. Drink coffee because you like the flavor of coffee, not because you need the caffeine. Story 27. By not relying on coffee. I've never had it and I think that's why. Your body is relying too much on caffeine and not your normal signals. Just splash cold water on your face. You get used to it. Story 28. I do not drink coffee. I do not like it. However, I do not wake up until noon on workdays because I work at 2 p.m. But even when I had a job early in the morning, I never drank coffee. I just woke up and was awake. I did not really rely on anything to stay awake. Story 29. After the first few days of no coffee, you start to get used to it. I quit caffeine in May last year after drinking it for years. Once your body adapts, your energy levels improve in the mornings. You can do a few things to help. Get yourself out in the sunlight or bright light first thing upon waking. Get moving, exercise, or walk. Get some fresh air in the morning. Take a cold shower. All these will help you be better and more of a morning person. Story 30. I just do. My alarm goes off and I get up. I have never hit snooze in my life. But caffeine also makes me sleepy and coffee is gross, so maybe I'm messed up. Story 31. I need a bagel, an egg sandwich, and juice after my 2 cigarettes and either Coca-Cola or a Red Bull. Then I'm down. I really like cherry Coca-Cola in the morning with that bagel and smokes. Story 32. Easily. If you need some kind of stimulant or anything to help you do something that should be naturally easy, free from any medical conditions, that is a problem. Story 33. By going outside and being in the sun for a bit, being outside during sunrise and sunset really helped me. Do it for a few weeks and you will feel a difference. Story 34. I have only one trick. If I know it's morning, I purposely jump out of bed no matter if I'm asleep, drunk, heartbroken, or anything else. I have hypnotized myself to need to jump. The very thought of jumping out of bed is so strong. It's scary sometimes. Story 35. I haven't been able to have caffeine for a couple of years now as it causes my migraines. After about a week of headaches from withdrawal, I felt better. Waking up naturally is much easier than it used to be with caffeine, and I tend to sleep better than I did. That being said, I still miss coffee and wish I could have it again. Chicory coffee has been the best replacement. Story 36. I sort of stumble out of bed, might have breakfast, and while I'm cooking for the day, I slowly start to wake up mentally. Just realized my cooking happens in the morning, so I am awake during the day, laugh out loud. Story 37. I think to myself, I am an adult and today I am going to act like one. And then I go to work. I do not understand drug addicts because anyone that needs stimulants every day to function is what you call a drug addict. Story 38. Get up and do the routine, shower and shave. Brush your teeth, get dressed and go. Grab a water and maybe throw a tea packet in the water for flavor. I like the smell of coffee, I just don't like the taste. And energy drinks are horrible for your health. Story 39. I have never in my life had coffee wake me up. How I wake is this. I am sleeping, then at no given time my eyes open and I get up. Sometimes I just lay there. Sometimes I get up straight away. When I am on an early shift, the alarm clock goes off, I cancel it, and then get up. Not sure how coffee can wake people up. Story 40. You don't need coffee or anything other than water. I drink 3 to 5 cups every day, but I take 4 weeks of vacation every year and then I don't drink any coffee. The first few days you think you need it to wake up, but after that you just wake up. Story 41. If I know there's a chance I'll sleep past when I need to be awake, I'll set an alarm, which is usually work-related. Coffee just makes me jittery, and I find it unpleasant to drink. Story 42. Okay, question time. How do you feel after you've taken in a lot of caffeine? Do you get a hit like with nicotine and some stronger drugs, or is it more of a subtle, gradual change? I drink coffee casually from time to time, and I guess I feel slightly more alert or social over the following hour, but for all I know, it could be placebo. I don't feel a very tangible difference. Maybe I'm not very in touch with my body. What I almost always get is a runny stomach and trouble sleeping, which is why I often avoid coffee. Once, I was binge drinking coffee to the point where my hands were shaking, and I was hyper-focused. It didn't feel very good and was a bit of a turn-off in the end. Story 43. Never required coffee despite medical school, despite hospital duties. Partly because my stomach doesn't agree with coffee, and the rare times I drink it, I get tremors and palpitations but still feel sleepy. That being said, I am still a total wreck in the mornings with or without it. Bills. Bills are what wake me up in the morning. Story 44. I don't drink coffee at home, but occasionally, I'll go to a small coffee shop and order my vanilla latte with oat milk, or whenever I feel like trying a new drink. Story 45. I was a 5 coffee a day type of guy before. I needed one immediately, and my day just did not begin if I had none. I've been living in weird conditions that make having coffee difficult for a couple of years now, and it's honestly not bad at all. Waking up, in general, is hard for me. I am a sleepyhead, but coffee wouldn't help much anyway. It is funny how easy it is to just not drink it once you're out of the habit. Story 46. I went through a phase in high school and parts of college where I drank coffee every day. It got me too wired. I found that cold water as a drink woke me up just the same. I think a lot of people are more dehydrated than anything. Adding an addictive substance to it just makes it that much worse. Story 47. You have trained your body to need caffeine. It actually does not, but caffeine is an addictive substance, and because it gives you a kick, your body has stopped producing its own energy. Story 48. I drink coffee, but it doesn't wake me up. I'm jealous of people who can have a cup or two of coffee and get a boost from it. Physical activity is great for waking you up, though. Roll out of bed and do 5, 10, or however many push-ups you can, or any other exercise. It helps get blood flowing and starts getting the feel-good chemicals, which are also responsible for alertness and wakefulness, to pump out. Story 49. I hop on my stationary bike for 30 minutes to 1 hour with the target of keeping my heart rate over 150 beats per minute for the duration. After that, I take a cold shower. I've been doing that for years. Keeps my mind alert for the most part through the morning periods. Story 50. You should try spinning. That's a good trick. Seriously though, get up and out of bed, make your bed, and brush your teeth. The movement will wake you up. Story 51. Caffeine doesn't have an effect on me in terms of keeping me awake or alert. I could have an espresso shot right before bed and still fall immediately asleep. Most days the first thing I drink is bone broth. Story 52. I have never had a cup of coffee in my life, nor a mocha, iced coffee, or anything. I wake up absolutely miserable. I deal with my kid and shower, then go to work still miserable. Work days are long and arduous. I feel like harming people often, but here's the thing. I'm too tired to do anything once I'm off work. I put a smile on my face, and I endure it because I need to. Story 53. I found out when I quit coffee a few years ago that I sleep better, but also my skin was better hydrated. However, I'm back on coffee again because I just like the taste. Story 54. I have not had caffeine for 15 years. I find I get to sleep easier at night, and I wake up in the morning just fine. I dread to think what I would be like if I had caffeine now. Story 55. I don't know. I've just never needed it. My energy levels are constant throughout the day. Even sugary drinks don't give me any additional noticeable energy. I was in Rome recently and had 3 cappuccinos and an espresso in an 8-hour window. I didn't notice a thing and fell asleep that night just as easily as I always do. Story 56. Maybe I just never had good coffee, but I really don't believe coffee can actually do any of that. You all just be lying about that and drink coffee for the taste because it really does not do anything for me at all. Story 57. I am a former coffee drinker, and I quit drinking coffee when I quit smoking. I just got used to it and really enjoyed not needing coffee to begin my day. I drink a big glass of water instead.